Are you ready? Hey, think you can tell us what to do? You think you can tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready. Bow to the masters.
I am the queen here, the cream of the crop, and there is no one that does it better than the Macho Man Randy Savage. Woo! I've got the style and profile like never before. Well, let me tell you something, brother. I'm the man.
I am the best wrestler in the world.
They call me Hot Rod. Everybody knows it. I don't have to say what I am, because I've done it. It's showtime, folks.
Welcome, everybody, to the Real Marks of Long Island. We got Fog, Justin, and Ty here today. And I want to say that intro, that clapping always gets me pumped up. I feel like we're in a studio audience. The people are ready. And yeah, I mean, look what we got down at the bottom for people watching. We got Raw and NXT Fallout today. I guess the first thing I want to go into, if you guys want to go into it, is the King of the Ring brackets. We have the semifinals. And the thing that sticks out to me most right now is the men's bracket is a face fest. We got Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, Jey Uso, and Cody Rhodes, and all particularly friends and in this same circle of, like friendship against, the bloodline, against pretty much Gunther and the Judgment Day. These people have been aligned since like Survivor Series. What was it? 2023 was Judgment Day. But what do you guys think of this bracket?
For this bracket, it's kind of like what we said last week, where based on storylines for me, I kind of see where this is going. I did not like, and I know Fog did not like, seeing Jey Uso as the surprise entrant for this one. Yeah. But now it kind of, obviously, I still think it's going to end up Cody and Sammy. But yeah, it's a face fest through and through. But it makes sense because we have two heel champions right now.
Yeah, I think here I am messing with this microphone that's just being weird on me. But I think it's purposeful. I think one thing I don't love that WWE has been doing for the past couple of years is they're kind of giving away results. And sometimes you have to just have a, little bit of thought into it. But like last week we showed the images that they emailed to us where they're like, here's the crowns over the head of all the winners. And it's like, okay, cool. And now it's kind of like Sami Zayn is mentioning that he wants a match with Karrion Kross after this, which tells me that ruins his chances, I think. So I think you're right. I think the obvious choice here is going to be my microphone is really mad at me for some reason. I got this clamp over here and I'm just watching it undo itself, so I'm just gonna hold it. But yeah, so I think the obvious choice in the end is gonna be Cody and Randy, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we're gonna get Cody Randy too. I think this is a match that everyone kind of wants. And if Sammy does lose to Randy, maybe Karrion costs him, and there goes that feud can take off. But I'm curious to know what the fallout would be between Cody and Jey, because Jey wants to get back in there. He's on his high horse. He was, he just got lost to Gunther, lost his world title. But we have both former WWE and world champions in this bracket going head to head in the semifinals. So I can't wait to see how that goes.
With Cody and Jey, obviously we saw Cody come out, make the save, correct? And they kind of looked at each other. They know what's going to happen. Just for me, like, we know where Jay's going. Jay's going in the route where him and Jimmy are going to find each other. They're going to team up again. We're going to get the Usos back, which is tremendous. And then I don't know, like it is becoming a little predictable. The only side that's not predictable to me is Sammy and Orton, because I still think Sammy can win, but then carrying the whole heel thing where he has the, like you said, Ty, I think you said it, Ty, he has the opportunity to do something at Night of Champions and he doesn't do it. So right side, I think Cody's easily, obviously, in the finals. Left side is still, honestly, it's up in the air for me. I don't think Randy's a shoo-in.
I want to say one thing that I appreciate about this tournament is that they're putting main event talent in it.
Yes.
Like last year's was really lackluster. In compared to, I would say, in that like Gunther won it and it was like, all right, whatever. But like they actually put Cody and Randy and Sammy and Jey Uso and some good names in this tournament. And coming out of it, the question is, we're all sitting here going, when does Sami Zayn win a world title? But also, how does this heel turn play into it? If there is going to be a heel turn, and maybe the story is, after all this is said and done, he's the only one who resists Karrion Kross, but they're really playing into Karrion Kross having an influence in his matches. So I think for that perspective, kudos to WWE for keeping this a little unpredictable and putting a good roster in the tournament.
And to that point, I believe last year there wasn't really there wasn't a result. Like, yeah, sure, you became king or queen of the ring.
That's right. It was kind of
This time you have a not main event, but you have a title match at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So they need they kind of need to put in these.
No, they did that last year. They did. I thought they did that.
No.
So the big thing with last year, the problem was Gunther and Randy. Like Gunther won against Randy.
Yeah.
But it was like a weird finish where his shoulder wasn't down when he pinned him or something along those lines. But Gunther still got his title match.
Well, no, just think about the Queen of the Ring. Zelina won. Zelina did not have a women's world title match at SummerSlam.
Nia Jax was last year.
Yeah.
Oh no,
I think you're thinking the year before where it was Xavier and
Yep.
Zelina. Wow. Time goes.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I stopped drinking, Justin. I'm just kidding. That's actually to my point. Is I hate to say this. This is not meant to be like disrespectful, but like a lot, like lately, the King of the Rings have been more like a pat on the back for mid-card talent. You know what I mean? Or not to refer to them as I see them as mid-card talent, but people that they're not really intending to give a push like that for, like Xavier Woods, like they won't give him a singles title for some reason. And Zelina at that time, they were not going to give her a singles title. So it was like, here's a muffin for stopping by. That's kind of what that tournament was. And people were like, we don't get a lot of tournaments in WWE. Tournaments are really awesome when they're done well. How about a bigger prize? And they're like, all right, well, how about the biggest prize? We can't go much bigger than this.
But to me, like the King of the Ring, like has created I know it's the same gimmick over and over again, but there's some wrestlers and some characters that really took off with like King of the Ring and even Queen of the Ring. Queen Zelina was
Zelina and Xavier.
Yeah, awesome. But even like King Booker back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Bad News Barrett when he became King of the Ring, with the royal his royal cape and stuff. Like people did take the best of it, and even though it wasn't like a good, you're going to be catapulted into the main event. At least they took it and ran with it to show that they have the skills to to be where they need to, even if they have to play a king or queen character. So.
Do you guys miss King of the Ring being like its actual, at the time, pay-per-view, where the pay-per-view was the whole tournament? You didn't know what the main event was going to be. Now, obviously,
in a sense, yeah.
Now, obviously, you get to see your favorite wrestler maybe wrestle 2 or 3 times that night. But now it's obviously built up throughout the weeks, and we get to the conclusion at a PLE.
I mean, two things. They definitely have the room to bring it back. They could easily wash over one of the PLEs that they currently have, or just do it like have the qualifiers be to qualify for the tournament that happens on that night. That's the first part. I wouldn't be mad about that. The second part is I kind of prefer when the older, like, who wins is typically like a mid card talent that's waiting to break out, because to Ty's point, that it's another avenue for someone to take that king or queen gimmick moniker and do something with it. And it's like a title in its own. They wear the crown. That's a title in a sense, right? It's a prop, just it's a fake prop, just like a belt is, right? So it kind of, when they focused on that, giving that whole year of them as king of the ring, I feel like that really establishes them in a different sense, like when Stone Cold or Bret Hart, just these different people. I feel like it really could help. So and like we already have the Rumble, we already have the Elimination Chamber, we have all these matches that already dictate who's the next challenger, and I'm not opposed to it. I'm not saying it's bad. I do kind of wish they didn't go too far as they did with it. But if you're gonna do it, in their defense, they actually stacked it this year to make it look like, okay, this talent makes sense for what you're doing.
And even look at the women's side right now for the semifinals. Roxanne Perez and Jade Cargill versus Asuka and Alexa Bliss. Like, to me, this can go anywhere.
Yeah.
Justin made a clip of me
beautiful.
from last week, I think. I think Jade Cargill is going to win this, go the whole way, win this, and eventually win the title at SummerSlam, but then get cashed in by Naomi. But I really think it could go any way. Roxanne Perez is ready to explode out the gates. I mean, on Raw,
yeah,
she's just there. Like, she was there in NXT. She's there now. Alexa Bliss is so over, and Asuka just came back looking like a stud. So as much as I think Cargill is going to take it all the way, I think this is up for grabs.
Were you guys shocked with Asuka winning? Because look, obviously it's her returning, so they want to make her. You didn't know if she was going to be a heel Asuka, face Asuka, but with Stephanie Vakir in that match, like, obviously they already strapped the rocket to Stephanie. Did you see Asuka winning her debut? Like, obviously now she's up against Alexa Bliss, but
so here's what I'll say about that. One, Asuka's been done so wrong for so many years, like, consistently. I mean, like, you got to give her a WrestleMania victory singles match, like, please. Asuka, in my opinion, if you had a gun to my head, greatest of all time. And I think people are like, they just don't want to say that. But if you look at her work in ring and consider a language barrier on top of that, she is the best, in my opinion. I think she is absolutely the best. And so here's where I'm going with that. So Alexa's story, if it is still held to be true, is much bigger than this tournament. So I don't see her winning, because it kind of would be like she's getting too much if that story with the Wyatt Six is going to come to fruition. Roxanne is still very new. Yes, they could put a rocket on her, but she's so young and so new. They've got 10 years, you know what I mean? Like 5 to 10 years with her to get her there. Not that it's going to take that long. And then as far as Stephanie is concerned, here's what I'm thinking. I think if Cargill's going to go to the finals, you need a veteran in there with Cargill. Nothing against her, but you need, if you're going to push Jade Cargill or anyone, put them with the best. Now, if Asuka was the push and she was going to win, then I could say bring Roxanne or Stephanie, who are new to the main roster. But if they're pushing Cargill, who's also still kind of new to WWE, especially singles, if you actually think about that as a singles competitor, she's quite new to WWE. You got to give her like a ring general. And right now, like the two names that truly pop out are like a Natalya and an Asuka. Of course, Charlotte, and there's others too. But so I'm thinking it's Asuka, Cargill, with Cargill winning. That's my prediction.
Now, I Ty sold me on Jade Cargill winning this
He
tournament
sells
last
me on
week.
all kinds of stuff. Whenever he talks. I was like, I didn't think about that.
But now, let me ask you guys, with the injury to Liv Morgan, obviously things need to shift. There's clearly plans, or were plans, for Liv and the Bellas. Do you see anything, because Roxanne is kind of affiliated with the Judgment Day right now? Do you see them shifting any gears to help Roxanne win this tournament now?
Well, no.
If I could, Ty, I don't want to speak too much on it. I want you to talk. I just want to give everyone like a little heads up. So when Liv had that freak injury on Monday, some people may not know this. They weren't 100% sure until they went back and they examined her. And so initially there was reports that were coming out that it was only going to be like 3 months maybe. And then they reevaluated and they're talking about like, maybe it's better to do like non-surgical routes. And they're thinking it's up to 6 months. So she's out in like, as far as competition wise, she's out for up to 6 months. Go ahead, Ty. Just want to make sure people know that she is injured, like legit.
Yeah. So I see them going a different route, which would be perfect to come full circle when she's back. Roxanne Perez is going to slip right in to be best friends with Raquel Rodriguez. She's going to be right there for Dirty Dom. And when Liv comes back, it's going to be Liv Revenge Tour Part 2, because she's going to see Roxanne took everything that she had. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's gonna tear up. That's where I see it going. I think Roxanne's gonna take the place as tag team champions with Raquel Rodriguez. I think it's gonna do wonders for her, because then she can hold a championship, and even to keep that Judgment Day alive and keep the pot stirring, because Finn's gonna be grinning in the background when Liv comes on back, and the whole landscape of that team has changed.
They're redoing the Rhea. Someone posted that they can redo the Rhea story.
I was literally about to say
Liv Morgan.
I was literally about to say time is a flat circle, right? Because you had a heel Rhea gets hurt in that freak accident, getting thrown into the wall. She comes back, massive pop. It's literally the same exact story, which is crazy.
And they intelligently put Roxanne in the Judgment Day from the get-go, and they just have such an easy story that's already there, where she's presenting Dom with the chicken tenders all the time. It's like they've already had this thing brewing, and now she's out, and she might appear on TV, Liv, but obviously she can't compete. So with her essentially being out of action, it's perfect. I hate to say it. I hate to see her get injured, but honestly, it might be the best thing for her career anyway. She's going to be massive, I think. Yeah, I mean, that could happen too. Anthony C just posted in the chat that Roxanne winning a women's title and then Liv comes back and wins the Royal Rumble would be a storyline to have Liv versus Roxanne at WrestleMania. I don't know that they do that. I don't know that they put like Roxanne, like a world title on her like right now. They could. But I do agree that would be some really good story. Whether they have a title or not, they have a good opportunity. And the last thing I'll say on this is Raquel Rodriguez's time.
Yes.
Also, this is her time to step up, because I feel like she's been really lost in the fold since she's come back, and maybe trying to find her character. And when you have Liv Morgan standing next to you, you will never find your character, because she's too blazing right now. She's so over as a heel, and to everyone's point here, she's going to come back to like thunder when that music hits.
And also, before we move on to the next topic, is I believe they were teasing that before Liv got hurt. We had that backstage promo with Raquel and Finn, and Raquel started like really, she had this look like maybe Liv is not the person that I'm supposed to be next to.
Yeah.
For me to grow and become who I'm supposed to be. And then obviously we get the unfortunate injury. But to your point, this is now the time for Raquel to really,
and Roxanne.
And Roxanne, but for Raquel specifically, being next to Liv for all this time, to really take a hold of it.
Yeah, I kind of want to keep on with the women's division and fly with NXT, because even with this, like, there's so much potential now for people to just rise up. But we've talked about this multiple times. But Jada Parker is moving on. They're doing the Evolution Eliminator series. Lash Legend, two characters and two superstars that I know have a chance to really step up for NXT. And I kind of saw that coming. I was hoping, I'm a big Kalani Jordan fan. I was kind of pushing for her, but Lash Legend's just so much more over than Kalani right now. And look, we got Blake Monroe signing her contract, Fatal Influence coming out. Justin, I know you're itching to talk about that one.
Yeah, that to me signified, I could be totally wrong. They keep saying, who is JC Jane going to defend the women's NXT women's title like against at Evolution? She's not defending it. At Great American Bash, now that they attacked Blake Monroe, I see Blake asking for a title match. Great American Bash, Blake wins it, and then Blake defends the title against probably, in my opinion, Jordan Grace.
I'm having a really hard time getting used to the name Blake.
I know. I keep wanting to say Mariah.
She just looks like a Mariah May.
She does. Like, she really does.
I'll repeat one more time. That was totally unnecessary. I get it. WWE's got to own your name, but like Mariah May was like Blake Monroe. I'm really having a hard time with that one. Not that it's a bad name. I'm having a hard time. When you say her name, I'm thinking of like an NIL talent, not an NXT talent, you know, just like, who is that? But, you're a big Kalani Jordan fan, Ty. I'm a big Jada Parker fan. She reminds me, not necessarily reminds me, she just like was meant for this. The gimmick's already done, and like I feel like even WWE is maybe confused at the fact that she's got that Vice City look or the GTA graphics and image, her look and just the way she acts. She can promo. She looks like she's been doing this a long time. You know, just so I imagine once her in ring is where they want it to be, which I don't know what that is, or maybe it is already. Shoo, Rocket. I could see her main eventing at WrestleMania. She's just like it. Just looks like it.
I'm right there with you. I think to me, when we had all these call-ups with Roxanne, with Stephanie Bach here, with Julia, Jada Parker, Lola Vice, and to me, selfishly, Kalani Jordan, like I would love to see push the moon. Like you said, Jada Parker's right there. I think Lola Vice is there too. I mean, and they're both tough. They will both put themselves through any kind of hardcore last man standing match, cage match. They'll do whatever they need to. Like we saw them do those underground fights too. Like I'm all for it. They're ready just to explode. And I think Jada would be a great opponent for Blake Monroe if she does win the championship. I think you're right, Justin. I think Jordan Grace is probably getting set up to be the challenger. But at the same time, I think Jada Parker could be definitely a good rival for Blake Monroe.
Yeah, she's just such a good. She really brings out a lot in her feuds. Like every feud she has, it just really kind of stands out because just the way she promos, very believable. She owns that. She is there and she wants to be there and she's hungry and there's no freaking denying that. Kalani Jordan, just to make a quick point here, she kind of looks like she should have been called up a long time ago. She already seems like she's got what she needs to be doing gone and seems like she could be already floating off, but maybe that's why they're keeping her there because she's so solid. Like she's just like a fun person to watch in the ring, one of the top. She kind of reminds me of oh gosh, I'm forgetting her name. She has the dolls. I should know this, and she just
Tatum Paxley.
Yeah,
Tatum.
Yeah, Tatum. She's amazing in ring too. Another one who could have been called out years ago. Called up.
So two things. So I'm just looking over. I love how Thea Hale.
She's awesome too, man.
Yeah, no, I love how
talent on the women's side and the men's side on both rosters is just atrocious. But continue. I'm sorry.
I love that ending because Thea, I did not like her as a heel. She's not a heel. You look at her and you're like, oh, like there's no way she can be a bad person, right? She's always smiley. She was with Chase U. I love that Jada tapped and the ref didn't see it. Thea instantly being Thea, she started, celebrating, and then obviously you saw the loss. So Thea still has a gripe. Thea won that match, but technically she didn't. So on that point, I wanted to say that I love how they booked Thea there. But then going back to Blake, I know we mentioned a few weeks ago how Great American Bash is running head to head with AEW All In. Now we're like, oh, maybe she won't be on Great American Bash. Now there is that opportunity where she's going to go back to back. She's going Saturday, Sunday. She'll win the women's NXT title during All In. And then obviously on Sunday, she'll defend it. So it's still alive and well. Blake Monroe is going to
It'd
win.
be silly to not go that route.
Yeah. Now it's written in the stars now.
You don't bring her in and not put the belt on her. I mean, if you did that for Julia and Julia, we could talk about that. They did it for Stephanie McCurr. If you do that for her, you could do it for Mariah May, Blake Monroe, whatever.
Also, before we get off NXT, because NXT
was Jordan Grace's new theme song, huge mistake.
Def Rebel, it's.
But I did put a tweet out there, and I do want to fair warn people. People are getting pumped at I used to get told this all the time. I worked with someone, and he would always say, "The devil you know," and he just stopped talking after that to make it really cryptic and weird. And what he meant was, the devil you know, he told me way later, is the best devil. And that's to say, we're excited for, I'm ready for Def Rebel to go. I mean, they have deaf in their name and it's clear that they're deaf. But if they go to this mainstream artist, most mainstream music is dead anyway. It's like lifeless, just as lifeless as Def Rebel. So that's why people, mourn for Jim Johnston and even CFO, who I thought did a lot of really good songs. So if you're not going to get exclusive people that are focused on the person, that know the wrestler, Jim Johnston knew all these wrestlers, like got in their head and it was like, how do I make a song for them? So if you're just going to go hire some YouTube guy with 250,000 followers who makes rap songs, that doesn't understand music or emotions at all, you're going to have the same crap. You know what I mean? It's just produced by someone else. So I'm just fair warning everyone out there, the devil you know sometimes.
No, I agree with you, dude, because Jim Johnston's made some of the most the most iconic themes from back in the day, especially within the Attitude Era and stuff. But like that kind of bums me out if they do go that route, because like you said, I want someone who cares about these characters, who cares about the superstars, who wants to make music that's iconic for the fans, that want to, who feel it because they have a connection with that star, and the music just is the icing on that cake. So if you're going to get like people or just like sell out and be like, oh, we'll just get some like high-end musicians and they'll do your songs. And it's like, cool, but does it really reflect their characters? Does it really reflect their performance in the ring? Like it won't. And
there's two things. If you look at Def Rebel, first of all, like, let's put it this way. You have a job and you're asked by your manager to create a presentation on something to go to be presented to a big, large audience within the company. So you create this presentation, your director had to approve it. So who's approving these theme songs? When Jordan Grace's song got played on their iPhone and they're like, hey, listen to this trash that I made for Jordan Grace, someone should have been like, that's trash. Give me something completely different. And then maybe sat in the room and been like, we need something. Her name is the Juggernaut. And then kind of walk through it. So what I'm getting at is Def Rebel created it with someone, probably multiple people approved it after them. That's the scary part, guys. Like, someone's hearing these songs and going, yeah, that's great. Let's change the Judgment Day song to the New Day song. And like, kind of, maybe, I don't know, are the lyrics different? But, so like, that's what I'm saying is, so then you have this new round of people who are not specific WWE employees. And like, you're agreeing with Ty, and you're just like assigning this random AI creating musician that's on YouTube to create the next song for Finn Balor. They're gonna approve that garbage too. So I don't know. I want to have high hopes. I do not, and I really hope I'm super surprised and it's just banger after banger. But the last thing I'll say, Penta, his song is like pretty cool, but I think if you started it in the middle, you may not know whose song that is. I could be wrong, but they also had the guitars from Tool on that, so that's like an example of what you could get when they go this route. I don't know if Def Rebel created the main part of the song and he just played on it, or if he actually created that song. And I'd be terrified to find out that it was his song. Like if he just did a guitar solo, fine. But if he actually made that song, I don't know.
Yeah, I was just about to bring up that point to where I saw Triple H. He had like one of his videos where I guess he was that guy, the guitarist. He did like a hard bargain, and it was literally $1 to do.
Oh yeah,
do Penta and Ray Phoenix's theme song. Like he charged Triple H $1 for it.
Yeah,
hysterical.
So, but yeah, with that, I wanted to get to the 6-man tag, and I want to know your guys' thoughts on how TNA feels about their now champion Trick Williams being pinned by, I always butcher his name, Inamura. So you have Joe Hendry lose the TNA World Heavyweight Championship to Trick Williams, an NXT superstar. And then you have Trick. He's doing a great job, don't get me wrong, but he is now a WWE employee holding the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. And then for him to get pinned by Yoshiki Inamura in a 6-man tag on NXT, I don't know how that makes TNA employees feel.
I mean, I'm sure WWE approved it.
Yeah, but also I don't hate it, because like at the end of the day, like he's wrestling with TNA wrestlers. He's with AJ Francis. He's with Casey Navarro. Like he's not like he's just NXT wrestlers. He's to me like I don't hate it, because at the end of the day he has to get pinned. The way he's been wrestling, his character, he's weak. Like I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Yeah, it just, for me, obviously TNA has to sign off on the title going to Trick Williams, and for him to take the pin, like AJ Francis could have taken the pin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know that I agree with it all. I mean, I agree with
Wes
you.
Lee could have taken the pin. Did it
Yeah.
have to be the TNA World Heavyweight Champion taking the pin to Yoshiki Inamura?
Right.
That's where I'm kind of getting at.
Yeah, WWE tends to do that kind of thing quite often, definitely more than I personally prefer, and I never understood it, because I don't think anyone comes out of it stronger unless you are about to push that person. And I'll be honest with you, I've never heard of them, so I don't know. I got nothing. I'm baffled, especially you just put that belt back on Trick, and he's a heel, so weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that Trick has just been too on top of his game lately, and at the same time, like he's gonna lose, and I think it shows that he has this vulnerable side to him, that he can take pins. He's beatable, and I think that can show the TNA roster that this guy can be pinned. We can get our championship back.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? He always brings up a good point. I didn't think about that. It's just weird. I guess what's weird about it to me is he just won it back. So.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was definitely interesting that they decided to go that route, especially for Trick to do that. But yeah, I know, Ty, you got something floating on the edge. You might have to go to the airport right now. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm still waiting, but yeah, it could be.
I just figured, like, before it's like,
yeah,
I'm sorry, what happened?
Yeah,
You're like,
so for anyone watching, my wife was supposed to be on a flight. It got delayed because of storms, and I'm just waiting for a phone call to move my ass to go pick her up. But yeah, I think this was a good session. The only thing I wanted to point out was that, Justin, you were right with Goldberg and Gunther at Saturday Night Main Event. You will not be seeing Goldberg walk down the ramp at SummerSlam.
Thank God. Thank God. I also wanted to bring up that I guess we can announce it now, but Body Slam will be at Slammiversary, as Ty and myself will be there. We'll be making content. We'll be interviewing some fans outside of UBS Arena. Hopefully we'll
That'd
get
be so cool.
hopefully we'll get some footage inside during the event. So shout out to Ross Foreman, the vice president of TNA. I was just looking to see how I can go about applying, and he said, I have no issues giving you guys 2 tickets.
So awesome.
So amazing. Cannot wait. I have the countdown. It is almost a month away. So we are almost there. Cannot wait. Cannot wait.
Yeah, I'm fucking pumped up.
I was trying not to curse there, but yeah, I fucking.
No, you're good.
Yeah,
I think YouTube's after like 30 minutes, you can do it.
Yeah, I can't wait either. I'm so excited.
Is that true? Is that like what?
Yeah.
I had no clue. I'm glad I waited till
like,
36
I don't know
minutes.
if it's 30 minutes, but it's like I think it's maybe within the first 10. Someone else knows better than I do, but I think it's like just wait like 10 minutes or something like that.
I use my curses wisely, but sometimes it gets the best of me, you know.
Yeah. I
But
get it.
thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to keep subscribing, liking all of Justin's awesome content that he's making on the socials, on Shorts, on TikTok. The man is a hustler. Please go support him and us. And we will catch you all on the next one. Real Marks